Surround yourself with people who actually make you happy. Just make
Correct.
sure you are with people who, that's very, very important.
It's constantly telling you that you think you're prepared, but you're not. And when you
Yeah.
feel like you've just gotten over some huge ordeal, something else will just sneak up on you and be like, "Ah, ये तो तूने नहीं सोचा, अब इसको कैसे handle करोगे?"
I really thought that when I grow up, I'm not going to behave like the people who are the elders around me. You know, I'm going to be very cool. I will not talk to kids badly. I will not ask kids. I've never tell kids कि तुम्हें पता है ऐसा करो तो ऐसा होगा. Now I'm with my nephew. I sometimes shout at him when he's behaving badly. Sometimes I have to bribe him. Ki, Gibby, if you do this, then I will give you a chocolate. You know. And then suddenly I realized, shit, I thought I'll be the cool kid.
I've genuinely considered going to pick up a course and just studying for some time because I'm just so tired of being a grown up. Take it slow. There's no need to rush things. There's no need to take decisions that you're not comfortable with, because life is very long. Right now, for the next 5, 6 years, 7 years, you'll feel like all your decisions and their consequences matter. But in the long run, everything will just fall into place.
This is Srijita sent from News 18 Showsha, and today we have with us the adulting stars Yashaswini and Aisha. So let's welcome Yashaswini and Aisha. Hi, how are you?
Hello, we're good.
Hi, very good, thank you.
So adulting, I mean, I already hate this word. It's a scam. No one told us when we were younger, but it's a scam.
Actually, no, people told us. We used to say हमें जल्दी बड़ा होना है और सबने कहा था कि बड़े होके इतना मजा नहीं है. But we wanted to grow up. We wanted to,
Yeah.
at least for me.
But no one gave me this reality check. They were like, once you grow up, everything will be easy. Now do this, now listen to us. Later you can do whatever you want.
That's true.
Which is true to a certain extent, but it's a scam. I said what I said.
Yeah. I feel like the adults that told us that scammed us were being scammed still, so they didn't realize that they were passing on the scam to us. We have now woken up and we're like,
we need to stop this cycle. We are not passing on any scam to anyone.
Shout out to all the millennials. Shout out to all the millennials.
Yay.
So tell us about this new audio adaptation of your show.
New 20 episodes, fresh 20 episodes. There is no repeat whatsoever. It's sort of timeline wise places between season 1 and 2, and I think it's a lot of fun. There's so much that happens. There is so much excitement that happens. There are new characters, family, friends. So what else? What am I missing?
A lot more struggles, I think, of adulting, which we couldn't show in the 3 seasons. But in Audible, because there are 20 episodes, you just feel like you're a part of these girls' lives, and that's, I think, really nice. It's fun. It's like being the third friend, because audio is such an intimate experience, right? Like you're listening to them and you can imagine their world the way you want it to be. So it's really immersive, and I think it's going to be super fun. I'm very biased towards the Audible show because I feel like we got to do a lot more, because with video
we got to tell a lot more.
Yeah, with video you have constraints. There are some things you can't show. There's a really fun outdoor episode also. I'll just drop it, which we got to do in the audio show. So it's really fun. It's a lot more.
Correct. Sorry, I just remembered which episode we're talking about.
So how challenging was it doing this in audio? Because in video, you will get to show a lot, you get to express a lot, but here it's just your voice. So how was that entire experience?
I feel like it was very important for, I'll speak specifically as Aisha and me and as young actors. I feel like this was a very important journey that we went on, because you really discover how strong are your performance skills, because there's literally no visual cues possible. You have to use your voice, you have to whisper or scream or breathe and use directions and everything. So I feel like as much as all of that was really challenging to do, it was also very satisfying to pull off. And I feel like it creates that engageability that you need when you're just listening to an audio format, because you need this kind of like strong hooks to keep you listening to 20 minutes of two people talking. And I'm very excited to see how the audience will respond to that, and also hear it ourselves, because we've not really heard anything.
It was challenging for sure, because like we're used to like moving around freely on sets, you know, where we can use objects, we can use the other person, the other character physically, you know, you touch them, that's how you express. But here we were put in like a room where we were recording for 7 hours in a day, and initially it took us a little like time to get used to कि अच्छा ऐसे ही करना है. You can just stand up or like sit down, like that's the max freedom that you have to record. So we would get very drained actually, like initial few days after like 2-3 hours we'd just be like, okay, we need some time. Where on shoot day it's like you go on for hours and hours, and you're okay, we're used to shooting for 12 hours, sometimes even more. But it was interesting. It was a good learning, and once we got used to it, we got a lot faster with our recording time as well. So it was a good experience.
So what would you say was that one exciting thing about this that you did not have while shooting it? I mean, the video format.
I think exploring the characters a lot more for me. I think like visually थोड़ा सा हमें पता है ना कि जैसे करेंगे it'll translate. If I'm feeling a certain way, it'll show on my face, it'll show on my eyes. Now, when you're recording an audio show, that's the handicap you have. Nobody can really see your face or your physicality. So just to be able to recreate Nikhat in a way, keeping her to be the same as your video show, but still adding some quirks just through voice. I think that was something very, very exciting. Yeah.
So tell me one thing you hate, both of you hate and love about adulting.
Adulting the show or adulting in life?
No, adulting in general, in life.
Okay. I really don't like how much it sneaks up on you. Like it's constantly telling you that you think you're prepared, but you're not. And when you feel like you've just gotten over some huge ordeal, something else will just sneak up on you and be like, ये तो तूने नहीं सोचा, अब इसको कैसे handle करोगे?
I think two things that I absolutely hate about adulting and being an adult are A, you have to make people do work, and nobody likes to do work. I think that is something because you know, like things like if something's like you have to talk to the electrician or like the plumber or painter or carpenter and all these things, like they don't take you seriously. Also because like you may be an adult like age wise, but we look like young girls, so no one takes you seriously. So that is something I absolutely hate. And also like learning over the years that if you're a girl, it's harder to get work done by older men because they just don't take you seriously. And I've been facing, first I thought nahi yaar, matlab it's just a thing that's said, but experiencing it every single day makes me realize, shit, this is true. The other day only, I'm just gonna drift into a story by Yashaswini and I were in the rickshaw and we were telling the rickshaw guy directions. Okay, Google Map pe ye dikha raha hai, to yahan se lo. And there was a lot of traffic, but he wouldn't listen to us. Just because we're two young girls who are like, you know, trying to tell him, he just didn't want to take directions and he was getting so upset. And where we know for a fact if there was a male friend sitting with us, he would listen anyway. So that's one part of it. What I love is, of course, like being able to like being your own boss, which I also hate sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that you can buy whatever you want, you can go wherever you want, you can make plans and they will actually happen. You're not waiting for like mom to approve and father to approve and then like, you know, figuring which one will say yes first. So I think that.
But I still use my mom as an excuse when I have to do some plan. Like mom is not giving permission.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
So what is that one thing you, as a child, you thought, okay, I'll do. Like when I grow up, I'll do this, I'll do that. But when you actually grew up, you realized, okay, this thing is actually a scam. ऐसा नहीं होता है.
I really thought that when I grow up, I'm not going to behave like the people who are the elders around me. You know, I'm going to be very cool. I will not talk to kids badly. I will not ask kids. I've never tell kids कि तुम्हें पता है ऐसा करो तो ऐसा होगा. Now I'm with my nephew. I sometimes shout at him when he's behaving badly. Sometimes I have to bribe him, Gibby, if you do this, then I will give you a chocolate, And then suddenly I realized, shit, I thought I'll be the cool kid, who'll grow up and who'll not be like, my parents said, no, I'll be very like honest too, but that's the way of life, I think. That's one thing.
Yashaswini, you?
The classic one कि एक बार बड़े हो जाओगे फिर everything will fall into place and
Right.
there'll be no फिर टेंशन नहीं, एक बार पढ़ाई खत्म हो लो फिर तो लाइफ मस्त में एकदम जी के निकालेंगे. नहीं, that's all a lie, biggest lie.
Now I feel like I can go back to padhai. That was easy.
Yeah. I've genuinely considered going to pick up a course and just studying for some time because I'm just so tired of being a grown up. I just want to recluse.
For that, you will have to make money so you can go for it. And then while you're studying, you will also have to take care of your food and laundry.
Yeah.
And so you'll be living dual life.
Nothing like being in school. Nothing like being in school.
Yeah.
Okay, so diverting from adulting a bit. So Yashaswini, adulting, say, school student in Delhi crime. So, how is this shift for you as an actor?
It was actually the other way around. I finished Delhi Crime and I finished Made in Heaven and then I came to do adulting. So actually it was like growing up where I did the teenager things and then I suddenly felt like I need to do something that makes me feel like my age. And I found adulting, like I was auditioning for it. So it felt right because I have a lot of like young energy, like I have a lot of juvenility and immaturity inside of me, which is not what the characters were about when I played the 15-year-old, but just that naivety is what like I needed to channel. I mean, maybe I needed an outlet for it, and it worked out. Like it manifested in the form of those roles. And then after that, I felt like now I need to also feel like my age, and then I found adulting. I really believe in like finding stuff serendipitously. So it's been nice.
So character like
as effortless.
Yeah. So a character like a show like Delhi Crime and your character in it, how would you say a character like that helps you show your caliber as an actor, and how also a show like that impacts you as an actor?
First of all, the character is so well written because you can see the research and the effort, and she's not just like a random daughter that needs to be there to show some part of Shefali ma'am's character's life. She's a part of the universe. Her actions and inactions are part of the domino effect that put things in place. And so there's a lot of writing to teach you performance, writing to teach you how to think. Then at the same time, there's good directors who tell you how more you can explore all of that. And then there are co-actors like Shefali Shah, where just looking at her breathe, you learn so much more than you could have learned anywhere else. So I say this all the time. Like my mom used to say this earlier when I was very apprehensive about acting. She said, don't worry so much. Like if you've gotten the part, there must be something right about you, something that fits. And then after that point, just think of it as you're getting paid to learn, because there is no other way to learn better than being right at the crux of everything. No matter how much you study, it's eventually the practicals that help you actually instill the values. So for me, it's these three factors: the writing, the directing, and the co-actors.
So now coming to you, Aisha, I remember reading somewhere you said that you grew up around strong women since childhood. So how would you say growing up with and around strong women helped you, shaped you as an adult?
I think just the fact that when you are around, like everybody who has been a part of my growing up, like who's sort of like affected in some or the other way, all these women, sorry, I want to phrase it properly, so I'm just taking a second. I think what happened was that I started feeling so strong as a person. It didn't matter that I'm a girl or I'm a boy, or how people are looking at me. I just felt so strong as a person that I can do whatever I wish to. I would never second question myself. I never had any doubts in ki, acha, aaj mera man hai, I want to do this. Or in life, I want to do this when I'm making bigger decisions. it's never like, shit, can I do it or not? Because, you know, I'm a girl. Will I be allowed to, or will I be accepted in the world by the society or the people around me? Those questions just never came to me, and I didn't even know they existed until I spoke to my other friends, my female friends who I talked to, and then I realized, oh, even the basics, they sort of have to second question, or like bigger decisions in life, they have to sort of like, think that will it be accepted or not. That never came to me. For me, it was very simple. I want to do this, I'll do this. I want to be able to do this in the future, and I will do it. So I think that sort of just being so, I don't know what's the word, confident, if I may say. I think that's something that definitely like helped me a lot.
So that brings me to my last question. Any advice you would like to give to people stepping into adulthood?
Take it slow. There's no need to rush things. There's no need to take decisions that you're not comfortable with, because life is very long. Right now, for the next 5, 6 years, 7 years, you'll feel like all your decisions and their consequences matter. But in the long run, everything will just fall into place. So even if you make mistakes, don't kill yourself over it. Don't beat yourself over it. Everything will find its place and rhythm. And just like, what do you call it?
Go with the flow.
Just like smoothly, just like skate. Never mind.
Yeah, I think I would have something similar to say, where right now there's a lot of pressure suddenly because you're an adult, and suddenly it feels like, whatever you do, or that sort of makes you yourself. Like, if you made a wrong decision, shit. It happens to me. If I make a decision that's probably hurt somebody, or is a wrong thing to do by norms, I feel like, shit, I'm a bad person because I do this. I'm a terrible person, and maybe that's how I'm going to be for the rest of my life. No, that's not what it is. Be very easy on yourself. You're feeling those feelings because obviously kuch ho raha hai na. Matlab, you're not just feeling those things. You're a mad person.
Right.
You're feeling things. Acknowledge them. Be patient. Like Yashaswini said, be slow about things and let things happen. It's not the end of the world. Nobody is going to point a gun at you and be like, you did this or you said that. Everything passes. The worst of things, you might think the world is going to come to an end because of one bad thing or one wrong decision you made. No. Everybody's life is moving forward, and we'll just keep moving forward. And also, one more thing, surround yourself with people who actually make you happy. Just make sure you are with people who, that's very, very important. Don't be around anybody who makes you feel.
I was going to say something very similarly, that even if you feel like you're losing people in the process, the actually good people, the people that you help and the people that help you, life will find a way to keep them around. And you also have to actively put in the effort to maintain relationships, but cherish good people. That's more important than things that we actually end up prioritizing when we're growing up. It's important to prioritize your career and this and that and relationships and everything, but we tend to take it a little bit too far because of the pressure that Aisha mentioned earlier. It's important to always keep your eye on the bigger picture. Don't get sucked into any sort of a specific wormhole.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet. Also, quickly, another thing that I really wanted to ask, because you're doing a show on adulting, like when we were growing up, there were a lot of films, shows showing the adult life that gave us like extremely wrong ideas about this part of our life. So, any show or film that you guys saw growing up that gave you completely bullshit idea about adulting?
I don't want to call out anything specifically, but in general, a lot of our content was about. It was very superficial. Like at least the mainstream content that was easily accessible was very superficial. You never. Also, tabhi the trend was to not show the uncomfortable parts of life. It was about how idealistic and how beautiful things can be, and how extreme positivity was, or extreme negativity was looked upon. Like the delicate balance of discomfort, which is adulting, was never really pushed forward. So
I think also like what is really nice, so like Adulting is made by Dice Media, and I remember when we were starting off, Aditi is someone I was talking to, and she also had a very clear idea of that we don't want to make it about all the flowery things, or we don't want to put down any sort of people and be like, this person's done wrong. Like in the show, if you see, there's a harassment episode where Naina, who's the director, made sure that the boy has not been shown as an evil, bad person or a certain looking kind of guy. So they really made sure that, if you're making a show about two girls who are growing up, let's not try to take it to extremes. Let's keep it to as real and as relatable, which wasn't happening, like Yashaswini mentioned and you mentioned, like when we were growing up. So yeah, I think it's a progress. Yay. Win-win.
Yeah, right. So, okay, that brings me to the end of the interview. It was great talking to both of you, and all the best for the Audible series, audiobook. And have a nice day.
Thank you.